Star shortstop Carlos Correa definitely made a lot of enemies after the Astros scandal broke out, especially considering he embraced the villain persona and really became the face of all the drama. But I don't know if there's a bigger player rival to Correa than relief pitcher Joe Kelly. The rivalry started on July 28, 2020, when the Dodgers took on the Astros in front of an empty Minute Maid Park in Houston, and Joe Kelly took them out. Up until that point, we all kind of expected something to eventually happen between these two teams. Some kind of altercation. There was just too much tension not to. The Astros were said to have stolen the World Series in 2017 against the Dodgers, and Correa went in front of a camera and said this about the 2019 MVP, Cody Bellinger.
You should get informed. You should be informed before you talk about other players. If you don't know the facts, then you gotta chill.
So again, we all had a feeling something was going to happen, and thanks to Joe Kelly, something did happen. But before we get any further, we are so close to 100,000 subscribers on the channel, so if you're new or just haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. Kelly would go on to throw a scoreless inning, but not before throwing over the head of Alex Bregman on a 3-0 pitch, get a force out at second, get kinda cleated by Michael Brantley, look back at Brantley, had this yelled at him.
Ooh, okay. So in empty stadiums, we pick up some things that we don't normally pick up. Apologies.
He'd go on to walk Yuli Gurriel and then throw a slider up and in to Carlos Correa to make it second and third with 2 outs. Correa would look back at Kelly. The two would then go back and forth until it was a 2-2 count before Kelly got Correa to strike out, and that's when it began. Kelly would make his now famous pouty face, the benches would clear, and ever since then, Kelly and Correa haven't necessarily invited each other over for Thanksgiving. Kelly ended up getting suspended for 8 games, got it reduced to 5, and he was not happy. He still isn't happy with the suspension and thought it was unwarranted. Last year, when Josh Donaldson was suspended 1 game for calling Tim Anderson Jackie, Kelly brought up his own suspension.
Because you frowned at Carlos Correa.
Yeah, and I walked a lot of people. I didn't hit nobody. I walked a lot of batters and I got 8 games. How about that?
Oh my.
Correa and Kelly have since had 1 face-off against each other since the incident in Houston, with it taking place back in 2021 at Dodger Stadium, and this time Correa got the last laugh.
And he drives one deep to left field. Carlos Correa has hit another.
You can hear him.
Since this moment, both guys have found new homes, and some interesting things have been said by Joe Kelly. Kelly recently wrote a book called A Damn Near Perfect Game, Reclaiming America's Pastime, and in it, he discusses the Correa incident, but also goes a little more in depth. In the book, Kelly wrote that if the Dodgers ended up facing off against the Astros in the 2020 World Series, he would have waited for the Astros in the hotel lobby. Watch.
You know, there's a part about where, you know, if the Astros would have won and we would have played in the World Series.
Yeah.
MLB was kind of panicking and trying to figure out what to do.
Were you really
with
in the book?
Astros staying in the same hotel.
Yeah, you wrote in the book that you would have waited for the Astros to come through the lobby of the Bubble Hotel. Would you really have done that?
100%. I would have. My wife knows that. She could vouch for me. You know, we had twins at the time, and she said, "Okay, you could do what you want to do." And you know, there's a part where, you know, MLB tried to go behind my back while I was practicing, you know, at the field, you know, try to have a conversation with my wife saying, hey, if the Astros win, you need to tell your husband pretty much to simmer down and not do anything. And, you know, she basically flat out laughs at him and say, good luck, you know, I can't even do that.
And as recent as this week, Joe Kelly went on the Chris Rose Rotation, a YouTube podcast, and was asked about what would happen if he became teammates with Carlos Correa.
If things went sideways this year in Chicago and you got traded to Minnesota, would you play?
I've never been a quitter, so I'd have to play, yes. I would definitely play. I can't tell you what would happen next, but I'm sure if I was on the same team as Carlos, we would obviously have to have a conversation, and then we would see what happened.
What do you think that would be like if you sat down with Carlos Correa?
I mean, I think it would be just like every other conversation that you have with someone that usually that don't get along. I think I would be open to having the conversation, see what kind of person and like how genuine someone is outside of the cameras, right? Because you don't really know someone through cameras. Not very many people are like me where they're just going to say exactly what they mean. You know, a lot of things are scripted or a lot of pre-planned, you know, type things. Like, so in their instance, an apology was probably scripted. It was pre-planned. Maybe now, since time has gone on, they actually have shown remorse, but the question's gone now, right? Like nobody really brings it up anymore, what happened in 17. And so it was one of those things that hypothetically, if it happened, we would have to, you know, have a conversation. And then, you know, I'm open. I'm always open. People can change. You get the chance to see how genuine someone is. And if you're genuine, then, hey, let's snip it in the butt. Let's go on.
So after being on rival teams in opposite leagues, Carlos Correa and Joe Kelly are now in the same division, meaning of course more opportunities for them to potentially face off. So far, Correa owns Kelly in his career. In 7 at-bats and 10 plate appearances against Joe Kelly, Correa has 3 hits, 2 of which are home runs, 3 walks, 3 runs batted in, and 2 strikeouts. So Kelly has some work to do to get even. I really hope we see these two guys face off against each other multiple times this season. It would be must-see TV. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.